before it records properly. So I'll just give it a moment. Okay, so in today's video, I am wanting to teach and guide you through visual orienting practice, which is a form of nervous system regulation, or it's a practice that's taught to assist in kind of somatic therapy and healing of the nervous system. Orienting is something that we naturally do. I've taught a class on auditory orienting. Orienting is just something that we do by sensing it. So auditory orienting, for example, in that class was where we closed our eyes and we really listened. We used our ears to listen to what we could hear. And as a result of what we hear in our environment, those signal safety back to our body and our nervous system, or the opposite, safety. So you might be sensing danger by what you hear, or you might sense safety. So through your senses, your body and your nervous system, your being determines your level of safety in the moment and whether or not your body needs to get into a state, fight, flight, freeze, fawn, whatever state, to protect and keep your body safe and alive. So today I'm going to guide you through a visual orienting practice. And as you might imagine, that has to do with your eyes. So it's got to do with looking around your environment, and through what you see, that signals and determines the level of safety in your environment, and then signals back to your nervous system whether to relax, activate, or whatever it needs to do to keep you in a safe and stable living space within yourself. But the purpose of this meditation intentionally is to intentionally signal safety to your nervous system. So ideally you're going to be in an environment where when you look around, you're seeing things that are going to signal calm, safety, there's no threat. Now we don't always have control over that. The universe and life itself is spontaneous often, but for the most part, if you're in your house that's a safe environment, or you're in maybe a park, a workspace, or somewhere where there's relative level of safety that you know is going to be fairly stable, at least for this practice, you can use that to support yourself. Okay, so with the reason I'm sitting up in this position right now is before we get into that practice, I'd like to kind of get a bit embodied, so kind of do some shaking exercises and some tapping exercises to bring everyone into their bodies and into a kind of relaxed state, and kind of activate your nervous system a little bit. So we bring some, if you're in a down-regulated state, so if you're in a kind of more a suppressed, frozen, or just inactive state, it brings the energy up a little bit, and it just brings more alertness to your body. So how we're going to do this, I'm going to take some water first, but I'll get you to stand up. If you are seated, like in an environment where you have to be seated, or you're in a car or something, it'll still work, but you'll just have to work around your space and environment to kind of do the shaking exercise. So if you can, stand up, and we're just going to start by shaking your hands and breathing out through your mouth to release tension and pressure can be really helpful. So you're just gently shaking through your wrists, shaking through your hands, and this is shaking through your arms, beginning to stimulate the nerves through your arms and then through your vagus nerve. Okay, and shaking through your legs. Just pick one leg at a time just to isolate that movement. So if you're seated or in a car, or if you're even seated like outside in nature, you can shake your leg kind of on the ground to stimulate the muscles and the nerves. And the left side. And breathe out through your mouth. And then both legs and both arms together, and just kind of, you want to almost create like a bit of a buzz through your arms and legs. I'm tiring myself out doing it. Okay, couple more breaths. And if you're seated and in a car, or if you're in an environment where you don't have a lot of space, this won't work. But if you do have a bit of space, just do this breath exercise with me if you like. This is a good way to release pressure. I love teaching it when I'm teaching yoga classes, because everyone just feels so much better afterwards. So with this exercise, you're lifting both arms above your head into interlace your fingers, separate your feet a little more than hip width apart. Take a big breath in through your nose or your mouth if you have to, and swing through. When you swing through, make sure that your knees are bent and then through your legs. So we'll do that a couple more times. Breathe in. Again. One more time. I feel better already. That feels great. Okay, I'm going to come in the second part. I'm just checking a message here. All right. Okay, so hello to anyone who's on the live stream. Just going to take a few breaths and get settled before we actually start the visual part of the orienting exercise, meditation thing that I'm guiding you through. I'm going to take some water. Okay. And just to kind of continue bringing that alertness and activation through your body, just making it kind of like a gentle fist with one of your hands. And we're going to tap over your belly button. Just a repetitive kind of motion. And breathe in and out through your nose. If you have a blocked nose, you can breathe gently through your mouth. But just like, if you're doing that, just gently open your bottom lip. So just a slight opening through your mouth. So it's a calmer breath. And just keep tapping straight over that belly button. It's kind of to stimulate your vagus nerve basically and relax and regulate your nervous system. Just going to do this a little bit longer. You can swap hands if you want. And remember to breathe, see if you can relax other parts of your body while you're doing this. So your shoulder area, your neck. Notice your feet. Okay, a little bit longer. I'm just going to close my eyes, just kind of to settle into my body. So feel free to do the same. Okay. So wherever you are, find yourself in a seated position if possible. You can do this standing if you want to and need to, but it might be more comfortable if you're seated. And just resting your hands on your legs, palms facing down. And we're just going to settle here for a moment and do a kind of brief meditation before we go into the orienting practice. So breathing in and out here, close your eyes. And just focus on following your breath, meaning watching your breath, and let it flow down into your stomach area or lower rib cage. Letting it go as deep as you can. So really what that is the level of kind of softness through the muscles in your stomach that you'll feel, and it doesn't matter if you can't let your breath flow there, but just intending that area to open brings relaxation through your back, your belly, your chest. Couple more breaths here, just focusing on how your body is feeling. Relaxing through your shoulders. And let yourself really settle before we move into the next part of the practice. I've got to make sure that I'm talking loud enough because I can kind of put myself to sleep when I'm guiding a meditation. I can't even hear myself. Okay, almost ready. One more breath. All right, so wherever you are, gently opening your eyes. And from here, we're just going to do some gentle kind of neck rolls just to open up through your neck. So we're just going to start rolling left to right very gently and working with whatever amount of tension or softness you have in your neck. So you're not trying to kind of push force through tightness in your neck. And remembering to breathe as you do this, because these movements are designed to open up your body and create space, and breath allows for that to happen. If we're not breathing, the tension kind of holds itself more rigid. Alright, and then full circles, so gently going back, only going back as far as is comfortable for your neck, and then forward, tucking your neck to your chin, and back, and then circling forward, a couple more times. And then back in the other direction, clockwise now, or the opposite direction to what you started. And gently coming back to center. And lifting up through your chin, lifting up towards the sky. And gently curling your chin to your throat, into your chest. 2 more times, breathing up. And curling down. Breathing in, lifting up. And curling down. Okay, now lifting back to center. We're going to go into the visual orienting part of this practice now. This is kind of like a really chill, fairly inactive part of the practice. It's all about your eyes. I'll be guiding you through it, but your focus is really just going to be on you and the environment, so don't worry too much watching me, just more listening. I'll try to speak up so I don't get into my quiet voice. But yeah, so bring your attention to yourself and your own environment. I'm just going to have a little bit of water. Okay, so we'll start with looking around whatever environment you're in. So whether you're outside, in a small space, in a room, you could really be anywhere. But we're going to start by just very gently turning your head to the left and just looking gently through the left side of your eye at what you can see. Just find a few things to look at. Just gently gazing and noticing, moving your eyes around. And then bringing your head over to the right side. So you're observing what's in front of you as you're moving your head to the right side. And just looking at what you can see. So for example, in my space, I'm seeing a few plants, a lamp, some paintings, a mirror. And you don't need to note those in your head, looking back to the left side and just looking in front of you and then over to the left and looking for a few different things. And if you're in a space that maybe has like just a wall, blank wall, notice the corners of the walls, the top corners of the walls, the bottom corners, the floor. So it's about kind of moving your eyes around and taking in what you're actually seeing. So we're going to come forward again and looking over to the right side. And maybe look up and see what you can see as you look up. Now if you're outside, you might be able to see sky, hopefully. I mean, of course, you'll be able to see the sky unless it's covered with clouds or birds. And looking towards the ground now, if you've looked up or lower down, and just noticing what you can see there. And see if you can turn a little bit to your right side. You're not looking behind you yet, you're just looking a little bit, just a little bit back. Okay, looking forward again. And looking out what's in front of you. Just find 3 or 4 things to notice. You don't have to name them, you can just notice that you're looking at them internally. And then just looking up a little bit in front of you. And notice how your body is feeling as you're connecting visually to your environment. It's really about just actually becoming really present with the present moment. And this is communicating to your body that right here, right now, in my environment, I'm safe. And this is what activates a regulated response in your body. That calm response that my body is safe. We can go into a rest and relaxed state. So I'm going to look over to the left side now. And just look a little bit behind you. Not all the way around, just a little bit to your left. A little bit more than usual. Just see what's there. And then back forward. over to the right side. And finding 4 different things, and try to find them in 4 different directions. And then we're going to twist a little more, almost like you're attempting to look behind you. Not so much if your neck is sore, don't do that, but almost like you're looking behind you. And when you're looking behind you, you're sensing that what's behind you is safe. So you're seeing that, okay, behind me I'm safe, and that brings another level of safety into your nervous system at a kind of a conscious level. Your nervous system kind of drops into a deeper sense of safety. So bring that visual focus back in front of us again. Being really gentle with your body, because you're wanting to allow your body to soften in a real way through its own natural response to the environment. Just looking over to the left side and looking behind you. You can twist and move your body around a little bit just to get a see. And for hopefully in your situation, you're noticing everything's fine. Behind me, whatever I'm seeing is safe. That's going to bring, at least for me, I notice, I can look in the camera and see me as a wall and I'm safe, but it's this visual primal thing that happens in the body with the eyes. I look behind me, I see that I'm safe, and I literally feel the nerves in my back, those tingles kind of run down my spine, that relaxation settle into my spine. So there's another level of safety I've stored or allowed to occur in my body. So we're just going to do that 1 or 2 more times. So it's not really about just thinking and knowing it, it's about communicating through your body, through your primal senses, that safety, and that stimulates that response. So it's looking around to the right side. I just noticed I got very passionate about that. Looking behind you. And here, I just know my chest opens up so much more. Maybe it's because I'm twisting my chest, but it's that look behind me. I'm safe. There's nothing behind me. There's nothing chasing me. Settle. So we're looking back again to the left side. And as you're looking around you as well, you're seeing in front of you that everything's all good. And looking behind you again. One more time on each side. Just looking around. And noticing how your body, as you're getting kind of acclimated and connected to your environment, right behind you this time, all the way around. And last time to the left side. Just going to take a look at the sky. All the way around. Okay, it's all good. I've determined my environment is safe. Okay, gently bring your focus kind of just right in front of you. See, down on the ground in front of you in your physical space directly where you're seated or standing. In the real close proximal space, I'm just looking around my body to see, or if you're listening, I'm just looking around my body, what I'm sitting on. Breathing, so that deep breath is my nervous system releasing just tension naturally. Okay, so just from here, kind of settling back to center, letting your eyes come back to their natural kind of more internal gaze or centered gaze, however that is, instead of it being completely externally focused. And rolling your shoulders back. Breathing here, breathing out through your mouth. For me, at least today, is helping to release any pressure in my system. Nose. And out through my mouth. And now we're going to roll forward through your shoulders. I feel so much more present and so much more safe and like I'm not trying to move forward in front of myself. Okay. Like it's really feels like, it's okay to be just right here, right now, in my body, in this environment, in my physical time and space. Okay, so we're just finishing off now. We'll close our eyes again just to finish off with a few breaths. Just bring that attention inward again and have a little more water because I'm talking a lot. This is just to really kind of center inward after that external focus. Okay, so closing your eyes, resting where you are, and just breathing here. Taking 3 or 4 breaths in and out through your nose. You can breathe out through your mouth if you like as well, but just gently relaxing through your nose. And notice how your body is feeling. A couple more breaths. For example, through your stomach area, and your shoulders and your face. See if you can soften any residual areas of tension that you notice. For me, I'm noticing my jaw, so places around your face, maybe your forehead, your ears, your arms, your shoulders, your lower back, perhaps it's around the buttocks area, and your hips, so releasing any gripping there. Relaxing down through your legs, your calves, your feet, and down through your toes, and soften through your hands, all of your fingers, and just sensing all of your fingertips, and bring your attention to your mouth and your lips, your nose, your eyelids, your jaw, and feeling your tongue in your mouth, so bringing that physical focus inwards. And we're just going to breathe here a couple more breaths, relaxing and settling in. Breathing here just for a moment, just listening for the sounds you can hear. This is the auditory orienting, just to finish up. Just listening to your environment, just subtly, gently. Still breathing. And then just bring your attention back on your breath. One more breath in and out. And when you find yourself ready, gently open your eyes. And we are done for today. I always feel exponentially better at the end of these live streams because they're ended. But after we've done the exercises than I do when I start. So at least for me, I know something is working. So if you were here or you replay, I hope you enjoyed that and I hope you got some benefit. I hope you had like a first-hand experience with what I was talking about with the regulation and perhaps a visual orienting. And yeah, I hope it was enjoyable for you in any shape or form. And if it was and you want to let me know, feel free to do that as well. So thank you for being here and have a good evening or morning or day. And I'll see you next time.